searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. 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 Yeah, I just wanna be.
And I just want to talk Detroit Lions. That's what it's all about, folks. We got 41 in the building with 19 likes. Let's go ahead and get those likes up to 41. I got a special guest on with me. He is a legend in Detroit. He is the guy who likes to work at Woodward because, well, he runs that bad boy. What's up, Adam?
Appreciate the legend status. I don't think I'm there yet, but I'll definitely take it.
Oh, you definitely legend status. We got a legend in the building. Everybody say what's up to Adam. I see that we got J-Dub, Alan Dana, Vash Darwin, Bryce, Nine Drakes, Dixie Normus, love the name, Bryce, NFL Junkie, the Tundra Boy, of course, AB. We got Rye, Jackpot, G. Ibby, Wilson, Psycho Billy Demon, Michael Peters, Adam Patriot. Went to Iraq with that guy. Appreciate you, buddy. We're here to talk some Detroit Lions. Adam, how you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Everything's good. You know, post-draft, there's been a lot to take in. I think everyone's probably had the same conversation now over and over and over and over, but I don't think I've walked away from a 2-year period of any GM more confident than I am in this one right now.
Tell me about your confidence in Brad Holmes. What makes him different right now in comparison to, say, Matt Millen? He was a great GM for the Detroit Lions. Millen Hugh, and then Bob Quinn.
I don't like saying mean things. I know I do it a lot, and I'm probably going to do it right now. One, he's not a fucking idiot. You know, that helps. And everybody you just listed are some of the stupidest people I've ever seen in my life. But, you know, mean things and joking aside, I mean, he's addressed the salary cap. He's done very difficult things. He's made very difficult decisions. Obviously, the decision to restructure Goff's contract was one of the first things he had to do in order to sign the rookies last year. And I think he's had this vision of, I am going to build a roster. I'm going to surround whoever is at quarterback with talent. And I'm going to make sure that whenever I draft a rookie quarterback, he's going to walk into one of the better situations a young rookie could. And I think he's doing that. And I've never seen that before in this town. Yes, there's been Matthew Stafford, but Stafford walked into a hellhole. It was an 0-16 team. He was injured his first 2 years. And when he was finally right, he made Jim Schwartz look like a decent coach. And he made the GM look like he kind of knew what he's doing, even though they didn't. So with Brad Holmes, I think he has shown what you see in front offices like San Francisco, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. You see educated decisions. You see things that you don't expect, and I love that. When they traded up for Jason Williams, I was not expecting that. And boy, there's no better way to make me happy than to surprise me. To trade up 20 spots for a third-round pick. One, they fleeced the Vikings. That is, in and of itself, is amazing. Two, they traded up not for a quarterback that went in the third round, not for a safety. They traded up for a wide receiver, which is one of the most important positions in football right now.
You know, I got a $4.99 super chat, and that is important. That definitely gets a forward down the field. I appreciate you, Nick, dropping that $4.99 super chat like a freaking boss. And you're just talking about trading up to get a wide receiver. A lot of controversy over getting a wide receiver. A lot of people were mad we got to go all defense. I said, hey, trading up to get a wide receiver, and now he's looking like he is demonstrated he could be ready for week one or close to it. How can this offense be different with such a man like Jameson Williams, deep threading folks, running past them with his great route tree? How does that change the Lions' offense?
to keep a defense honest. Take the top off a defense, right? That's the sexy word everybody wants to say. It's so true in regards to Jameson Williams, one of the fastest, most explosive wide receivers in college football. If he doesn't tear his ACL, he's probably the first wide receiver off the board. And to address your comment earlier about people who thought it was controversial or were shocked and thought it should have been all defense, what I would say is if you ask those people before the draft, were you going to be happy with taking a wide receiver at 32 or 34? They would have said no, because all the wide receivers would have been gone. I don't think any of them expected the Lions to go for Jameson Williams. I sure as hell didn't. And I'm very grateful that they did. What it offers the offense is complete flexibility. One, Jared Goff needed weapons. We saw even with Josh Reynolds. Damn it, the Josh Reynolds signing last year made that kid look a lot better, a lot more comfortable.
Facts.
You have a top 8 O-line. You have an up-and-coming wide receiver in Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yes, Jameson Williams, you'd like him to be explosive and dynamic year one, but hey, I'm not sitting here putting Ja'Marr Chase expectations on this kid, and nor do I have any interest in doing that. I think he's going to offer a lot of route running that maybe I don't think anybody else on that team is even capable of doing. But even Amon-Ra St. Brown, we all love him, but let's be honest, he's about 10, 15 yards and under. That's about it. So at the end of the day, this is a team that's going to be able to run heavy play action packages. This is a team that I believe will be a pain in the ass to game plan for, because they can run the ball on every single down, Mike. And I don't know many teams that can do it in the NFL. And when you have that unpredictability, that uncertainty, that's where Amon-Ra St. Brown, Jared Goff, Jameson Williams, even TJ Hawkinson, if he's healthy, you're going to see this team really pick apart defenses in a way that even some of the most explosive offenses in the league can't do. I think they're going to be one of the most efficient offenses. They have to improve on third down. And I think having a number one wide receiver option really opens up the playbook for Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell.
We got another $1.99 super chat. I appreciate you, Mr. G1BBY. Game over. That's facts. We're talking about wide receivers. Freaking love offense. Love wide receivers. What is your expectations right now for this wide receiver class? Last year, we was cheeks. I mean, it was terrible wide receiver core. Worse than the NFL. Coming this year, man, it's a different story. It is a different story. What is your expectations?
This is the second best wide receiver core in the NFC North. I don't think Green Bay has a better wide receiving core. Sammy Watkins is incredibly inconsistent, unreliable, and always injured. Christian Watson is a nice player. He's a rookie. Outside of Adam Lazard, you go to Chicago, I feel bad for Justin Fields. They completely botched that project. They're going to suck this year. And then you look to the Vikings. They're obviously head and shoulders above everyone else in the division. The Lions, I think, are a strong second. Yes, Jameson Williams is a rookie. You don't want to put too much stock into a rookie changing a team, but I think he will change the football team. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a good number 2 wide receiver right now. Josh Reynolds, I think, is reliable, more reliable than Sammy Watkins, I could argue. And then you look at, I have to include TJ Hawkinson. That is a threat. Now, is he going to be on the field? Is he going to be impactful? It's a different conversation, but he is a threat. He is a legitimate option you have to account for if you're a defense. And I don't think any team outside of Minnesota offers more complications for an opposing defense than Detroit.
We just got offered a $10 super chat from my guy Travis the Doily. He says, game win prediction. His is 9-8. Appreciate you for the $10. Adam Baydoun, the guy who runs Woodward. He is changing the dynamic in Detroit, taking on bigger media. What is your prediction for the Detroit Lions season?
I haven't given like an official like this is the record. Last year it was 3-14 was my official. I wasn't far off. This year, I'll put it this way, Mike. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a 10-win football team. And I'm not going to laugh at people like I did last year who think it's a 10-win football team, because I truly believe the coaching job they did all season long, even with Anthony Lynn there. On defense, it was exceptional from Aaron Glenn. He'll get a head coaching job. Obviously, after Anthony Lynn was, pushed back, put to the sideline, basically put in timeout for the rest of the year, the team got a lot better. Jared Goff got a lot better. They were running the ball much better. They were more effective in the red zone. And I just have to have complete confidence, like I do, that this is, I think, at worst, a 7-win football team. At worst. The worst they could do is 7 wins. given the schedule, given the improvements. And you know what? I don't think 9-8 is crazy. Dare I say 10 wins? I don't think that's crazy.
You know what's interesting is NFL Junkie says Adam is the Paul Heyman of Woodward Sports. That is an interesting characteristic. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to Woodward Sports. They're dropping some great content over there. You got Adam in the morning. You got Edwards. You got all sorts of content over there. Everything Detroit, breaking it down. And it's a little edgy. And I think that's why a lot of people like it. And it's different from other media outlets. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe over there. I think when it comes to the Detroit Lions, like, they have to get to 7 wins. For me, they have to. That's the floor. You can't go into this season and win 6 games. I think, to me, that would be a failure with all the additions that they did offensively, talking about with the wide receiver, DJ Chark, the draft, getting defense, everybody getting healthy, second year in the system, getting Anthony Lynn out of there offensively. Now they're trying to get probably 2-minute offense, putting that into their arsenal. I think they have to, and the schedule alone. They have to. So if they get below that, I'm going to be pissed off. I'm going to be very angry. I think that would be an absolute failure, for my opinion. What would be offer? Go ahead.
I would offer advice to every Detroit Lions fan. Look, I know it's difficult to have like really tough conversations about a guy that, let's just be real, he's not a proven head coach in the NFL. And I know everybody loves him, and I love his personality. I think it's absolutely amazing. It's contagious. That's all amazing. But if Dan Campbell can't win you 6-7 football games this year, I would be shocked. Now, if the injury bug hits every single position, I mean, what am I supposed to do? But if they are relatively healthy and they go through this schedule, I think the floor has to be 7 wins. And I think 8, 9, hell, dare I say 10 wins. If they get to the 10-win mark, I personally would be comfortable and ready to say Dan Campbell is a good head coach. And that's what you're going to find out this year. I think by Thanksgiving, a lot of Lions fans will be able to understand, is our head coach just a rah-rah, cheer-him-up guy? Or is this guy actually maybe possibly a philosopher? Now, do I need him to be Sean Payton, Sean McVay, Kyle Shanahan? No, I don't. But if he has 50, 60% of that in him, you're onto something in Detroit. And yeah, I didn't like it when it first happened. I thought it was completely out of left field. And we're sitting here now. I thought he did a good job of player development along with Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson, Deuce Staley and the crew. I thought they really developed individual talent last year, and that's a big thing on my list. And this year, yes, I want to see more wins, but again, player development, the way they play the game of football. Are they in games because teams are making mistakes and they're just having an off week, which was a lot of what happened this past season? Or are they in games because they've game planned correctly? They've taken away what you do away correctly. They have done things on offense that give opposing defenses challenges. That's for, and I think you're going to find out a lot about your head coach this year. I think any Lions fan that is disappointed with 6 wins or under, I would have to agree with them. The schedule's too friendly, way too many home games. The home games are super friendly. You got to make something happen this year. If you're a damn good coach, I think you can win 8, 9, 10 games with this football team. And if I were to tell you that Kyle Shanahan, Mike Vrabel, Mike Tomlin, any of these guys around the league were your head coach for this year, everybody would be booking 9, 10 wins this year. And I think that's the standard people should have.
In the comment section below, put your record prediction in the comments. What you think the Detroit Lions record is going to be. If you think it's going to be 1 win, put 1-16. If you think they're going to go 17-0 and you are literally snorting Kool-Aid, put it in the comment section. I am ready to see what you guys think. You talked about Dan Campbell, and if he was to get 10 wins, I think if he got 10 wins, he needs to be coach of the year. I don't know, maybe that's bias, but taking a team.
Depends.
Go ahead.
Yeah, it depends what happens around the league, right? I mean, if you have a coach who last year second in the division, they go 13-4, or there's going to be somebody this year that is running the league. Yes. 10-7 should. I think the way he locks is if he wins the North.
Oh, for sure. If he wins the NFC North, he has to be. At that point, it would be extremely NFL-like if they decide to screw us. What do you think about that schedule? I haven't heard your opinion on this. All 1 p.m. games, real freaking weird. No, we don't have any games even after 1 p.m. It's all 1 p.m. What's your thoughts on that?
I personally don't mind it. I think you need to earn primetime games. And, we're excited about the Lions. We're the ones out here covering the team and talking about them every day, but not the other 49 states. And if I'm the NFL, the Bills make me more money than the Lions. Dare I say, even the Bears make me more money than the Lions. And unfortunately for Detroit, they need to prove that they're good enough to be on primetime games because, we didn't have this issue 6, 7, 8 years ago. They were opening up the season on Monday night against the Giants. They were opening up the season against the Jets on Monday night. And they've had a lot of primetime games. Obviously, the Thanksgiving game technically does count as a primetime game, so they do have one, but that's tradition. Would I have liked to see them in a Sunday night football game? Sure. Thursday night? Absolutely. And I think a big part of why they don't, not only because they're a bad team over the years, I think playing Green Bay in the final week of the year is a problem because
Yeah.
that's an important division game. And if I told you played that game in week 11, 12, for sure it gets flexed. Dare I say it's a Thursday night football game. So I think the way the team currently lines up, they play Chicago way, way too late into the season for it to matter. Chicago's going to suck. Minnesota, maybe that one gets flexed. But outside of that, you can't play Green Bay in Week 18. They're probably resting players or vice versa. The last game of the season against Green Bay meant anything was when the team was 11-4, and so was Green Bay, and they lost that game. So
We're here with Adam with an epic graphic behind him with the Detroit Lions and a freaking lion from Woodward Sports. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to the channel. What do you think about the running game for the Lions? I think this is a big year for DeAndre Swift. I think he's got to show something this year because we got a great offensive line. I think everybody can attest to that. Our wide receivers are much improved. We got our tight ends healthy. Got one coming in from the draft. Jared Goff, I think he's an all right quarterback. These guys need to show off, specifically DeAndre Swift. What do you want to see from the running game?
DeAndre Swift reach his potential. Now, do I need him to be Jonathan Taylor? No, I do not. But please, DeAndre, play 15, 16, 17 games. Don't be in and out of the lineup. I think he can be a guy that may be top 5 in scrimmage yards in the NFC if he's fully healthy. He's such a dynamic player. I'm looking for him to A, be healthy, and B, be explosive. We saw glimpses of it against the Rams last year. You saw him take a screen all the way to the house. The guy has shown it. Jacksonville, when Patricia was the coach early on in the year, I think he recorded a 100-yard-plus rushing game. So the guy has shown instances, but now we need consistency. I need substance, and he needs to be healthy. Jamaal Williams needs to run the ball better than he did last year. I wasn't happy with 4.3, 4.4 yards to carry. I think that's pretty bad for a guy that is brought in essentially to run the football effectively in short down situations. And then I would have liked to seen them take a chance on a running back later on in the draft. I think you can never have enough running backs. But, Jermar Jefferson, this is a guy that showed flashes as well. That's the good thing. And then you have Netflix. Essentially, what I'm telling you is it doesn't matter who the running back is. I think we can all agree the team will have a good run game. But, boy, it would be a tough pill to swallow knowing that you took DeAndre Swift before Jonathan Taylor, before Gibson, and they're out there producing and staying healthy. Meanwhile, DeAndre Swift is struggling for games. It's going to suck.
What do you think of Craig Reynolds, running back there? Picked up last year, Netflix himself. Is he a decent rotational back?
I mean, to be honest with you, I would say $4 or $5 million today, and I would just cut Jamaal Williams, and I would have Craig Reynolds and Jermar Jefferson be the guys. I can pick off anybody from the street, and they can run behind that O-line. I think maybe the Jamaal Williams, again, he's the funniest guy in the building outside of Dan Campbell. I mean, he's amazing. But, what am I getting out of him? If DeAndre Swift goes down, is Jamaal Williams reliable for 20, 25 carries? No. And even if he was, you're probably splitting all those carries anyways with Craig Reynolds and Jefferson. So I don't see the need for Jamaal. I think Reynolds is good. I think Jefferson is good. And that really all comes down to how good the offensive line is.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Craig Reynolds. I love when he came in. He's like an all-dude-around back. He can do a little bit of everything, reliable, getting those yards, and that's something that we need. We just follow your lineman, hit the hole, gain those 5 yards that we need, and you're good to go. Now let's get into the big topic that everybody's talking about. You're either a Goff truther or a Goff hater. You talk about Goff, man, it's war. You're either on one side or the other.
It's World War III.
It's World War III.
Yes. And I don't understand that. I don't understand why we have such extremes. Even at my own network, I have people freaking out over Jared Goff, and I'm sitting there like, look, I was one of the hardest people last season on this guy. I mean, I called him Dick Fumble Man. I called him every name in the book. But I'm pretty sure what we all see in terms of flaws in Jared Goff, the GM sees, the coaches see. And I think he got a raw deal early on with Anthony Lynn, and you saw it. I mean, over the last 5 games of the year, I think he was top 3 in passer rating. So he showed, hey, I can be good. And you know what? You can win in the NFL with just good or average. The Titans locked up the number 1 seed with Ryan Tannehill. No one's sitting there talking about, oh my God, Ryan Tannehill's the best quarterback in the NFL. No one's doing that. Do I want Justin Herbert? Do I want Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Matthew Stafford? Absolutely. But I can live with Jared Goff for this year, maybe even the following year, because if I have a head coach that's good enough, this team's going to be contending for the wild card in the division either way. We can compensate for an average quarterback with a very talented roster. I think people forget that. And people need to stop panicking, thinking that Brad Holmes is actually going to sign a 4-year, $120 million extension over to Jared Goff. I don't believe that will ever happen, no matter how good that kid plays. At the end of the day, he's a bridge quarterback. I think the city should embrace it. I think the team has embraced it. I've gotten inside information from players themselves telling me that, yeah, he's not the guy, but he, quote, is good enough. And I think, again, you can win with good enough. So
I don't understand like why people get so heated upon this. It's always the quarterback position for whatever reason. You can't just be, hey, he's the guy who we have right now. If there's someone better, great, we can get it, but we don't have someone better right now. We got what we have. Root for him, hope for the best, but I'm like you. He's the guy right now. He's not the greatest quarterback in the world, but he's not the worst quarterback. Are you upset
about the backup quarterback situation?
Look, I believe that if Jared Goff goes down, we're effed. I do think that that's the case. But then people like who want to get the quarterback next year. If Jared Goff goes down, you're going to get your quarterback. I mean, because you're not going to win a game.
The best case scenario for the Detroit Lions. If Goff sucks dick, you're picking in the top 3. You'll get a quarterback. If Goff plays good, you're probably contending for the wild card. And that gives you time to address the quarterback position. Do I have to remind people that they have 2 first-round picks next year? They do. They have the capital to move up if they wanted to. I am tired of hearing, well, why would you give away all the capital? If I told you you could have traded up and gotten Josh Allen or Justin Herbert or Patrick Mahomes, you would go do it. And if Brad Holmes believes there's a franchise guy out there, he has every right in his power, in my opinion, and my trust, to go out and trade up all the picks. And I'm so happy he didn't take a quarterback. Jesus Christ. I mean, this is why I love Brad Holmes. I mean, the idea of ever taking a quarterback at 2 or Kyle Hamilton at 2, again, I told you I would have gone to the Ambassador Bridge and jumped off. And people say, well, that's insensitive. People really kill themselves. I would have killed myself. You should feel bad for me too.
I see your super chats. I will get to them. Tick, tick, spoon, as well as Nick. Look, I don't hate the guy. I don't love the guy. He's the guy right now. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's a good thing. That's a good thing. And people are mad that we're paying him $30 million. Suck a dick. We got 2 first-round picks for it. Who cares? Who cares? Yeah. You got 2 first-round picks to eat that contract and that horrible football player because Sean McVay had 0 confidence in him. Both teams won the trade. Rarely in the NFL do you ever get to say, hey, both teams won the trade, especially when you're trading away a franchise quarterback, which the Lions did do.
Yeah, I still like the trade. I absolutely like the trade. Again, you're getting Stafford. He's going to a good situation. We're getting pieces to rebuild the football team, a guy that can hold the fort down, and if they feel he's not the guy, he doesn't do good this year, we got the ability to get our quarterback. There's C.J. Stroud, there's Bryce Young. You have the ability to get whoever you really want to get. We have the capital to do so. That's what it's all about. We got a question here, $1.99 super chat from Nick. Should they re-sign Hawk if he underperforms? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I am currently in Lions timeout from a lot of the fan base, given my opinions on TJ Hawkinson. I think he's been a bust so far. Through 40 games, he has relatively the same amount of yards, catches, and touchdowns as Eric Ebron. He's missed the same amount of games. He has a very similar catch rate, which means he drops or doesn't catch the ball at the same rate as Eric Ebron, who's Mr. Butterfingers himself. Yeah, I'm not signing him if he underperforms. Maybe 3-4 years ago, I'm desperate for a tight end. I think the league has shown you don't need an excellent tight end. If you go to the division winners last year, Cincinnati didn't have an excellent tight end. Dawson knocks out in Buffalo. Good, pretty solid. Dare I say very good, but he's not elite. The Raiders didn't win the division. Travis Kelce and the Chiefs, that's 2 division winners. Okay, we go to the NFC. Dallas doesn't have an elite tight end. Tampa Bay, Rob Gronkowski, if you want to call him elite, maybe I'll give it to you. So that's 3 out of the 8 so far, the 8 divisions. You go to the Rams, they didn't have a goddamn tight end. Blankenship, I forget what the hell his name was, that kid in the Super Bowl. I don't even know his name anymore. And then you go to the NFC. Let's see, we did the South and the North. Who's the best tight end in the North? Hawk? Lions finished last year. So, yeah, I'm not signing him. Clearly, the wide receiver is the most important position in football. Would it be nice to have a Travis Kelce, a TJ Hawkinson, a Darren Waller? Absolutely. But if Hawkinson can't stay healthy, and that's the only way he doesn't perform, well, then I think you have a big problem on your hands. I wouldn't sign him.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like the situation with Swift. You got to really perform this year. You got to stay on the field. The best ability is availability. Look, I do like what he can bring to the team, but you got to be on the field, man, or else it's not helping us. You can be extremely talented, but if you're not on the field doing anything, talent goes to waste. There's no reason to have it. So he needs to have a big year. I hope he does. I'm really crossing my fingers. I do like him and what he can bring to a team, but he's got to stay healthy. Tick, tick, spoon, $4.99 super chat. Jared Goff needs to get out. Well, hey, if he don't do well this year, you're probably going to get your...
He's out.
Yeah.
He's out no matter what. I promise you. Whether it's at the end of the year, 2 years from now, 3 years from now, he'll be gone. And nobody will have to worry about it. I promise. He is not the future of this team. And it gives Brad Holmes time to identify a franchise quarterback. That's very important.
100%. So, if you're not a Goff fan, hey, the team, if they suck, you're probably going to get what you want. But guess what? It's mailbag time. You can ask me. You can ask Adam a question. You can ask both of us a question. You got a super chat. You jump in front of the line. Hashtag Lions. Hashtag Adam. Hashtag Baydoun. Hashtag Woodward Sports. Hashtag. Wherever it is to make me see it. Adam's rocking some ridiculous hair. I'm noticing that, and I'm jealous. Why can't I have a hairline like he's got a hairline right there, folks? I'm getting old. My stuff receding back. I need it, man.
Dude, I'm losing my hair. I work too much. I'm losing my hair.
He does. He works a lot, folks. You have no idea. This dude works insane amount of hours. We got a first question by the greatest name, Dixie Normus. Adam, Zach Taylor, head coach, said Ben Johnson is the brightest offensive mind in the NFL. What do you think?
I don't want to take credit, but I think I do. I'm pretty sure I was the first one back in late October that said Ben Johnson needs to take over. This team is wasting their time with Anthony Lynn. I may be wrong. Maybe somebody else brought it up. I don't know. There's a million channels. I could be totally wrong. But the point is, yeah, I'm all over Ben Johnson. I love the guy. I love the kid. I think that's what you need. And when I look at the NFL, a lot of people say it's a copycat league, but it's not necessarily copycat. What it actually is you're identifying what the new trends are. 5, 6, 7 years ago, you don't pay wide receivers, Mike. Now you pay them everything. 4, 5, 6 years ago, hell, 10 years ago, you would actually consider paying a running back. Now you don't. The league is always changing, and now we're seeing it with these young, up-and-coming, offensive-minded coaches. They're getting jobs, and it's typically the offensive-minded ones that are super successful. Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Zach Taylor. You can see Kevin O'Connell this year. I think he's going to do a fabulous job with the Vikings. They're my pick for the division. Watch out for these young coaches. I just think that's the play. You see Bill Belichick struggling. You see Mike Vrabel even struggling to win playoff games. You need offense to win. And if you go back to the last 6 to 8 Super Bowls outside of the Bill Belichick defenses with Tom Brady, most of those teams were offensively driven.
We got another question here. Adam, how pure was that cocaine that we got?
I believe the purest the Lions could have ever dreamed of, in my opinion. If I told any of you before the draft that they were walking away with Aiden Hutchinson, Jameson Williams, Kirby Joseph, and another edge rusher, whether it was Pascal, Cameron Thomas, you would have looked at me and said, Adam, you're fucking crazy. There's no way they're going to get those guys. And they did. And they did it all at the expense of pick number 66. That's the purest stuff I've ever seen in my life.
Folks, if I missed your question, just repost it. They're coming in hot. Right now we got 200 in the building. I don't know how the hell we only got 69 likes. Smash that like button. At 100 would be fan-freaking-tastic. We got a $5 super sticker from Effuse Hayes. I'm sure I destroyed your name. I apologize, but I appreciate you for that super sticker. Hashtag Lions, James Mitchell could develop into a starting tight end. I actually really like this pick, considering the fact this guy was supposed to go in the 3rd round if he would have stayed healthy. He got injured. It didn't happen, and I think he could develop into be a stud. I had a guy on here a week ago who followed him from high school all the way to the college. He wanted him on his football team from the Commanders, and he said we got a hell of a steal right there for this. I can't wait to see him on the field. What do you think about James Mitchell?
Interesting. Again, a torn ACL. He probably goes in the 3rd round, like you were saying. Good value for a guy that you took in the 5th round. Do I expect him to take TJ Hawkinson's job? No, but I think everybody understood just how bad the tight end unit was last year.
Yeah.
And if Hawk does go down, you're going to need somebody to step up because that position is valuable. They are typically open, especially on those play-action boots. That is usually typically the number one option. Now, you have Ben Johnson. He's creative. He'll probably have Amon-Ra St. Brown as the one who's open and the number one target. But, yeah, I like the pick. I understand it. And if it works, great. And if it doesn't, great. No problem.
Super chat, $1.99. Hashtag draft the cocaine. Free agents left worth signing. Anyone you want to sign?
I'm done this offseason. I'm done with wide receivers. I'm done with any offensive linemen, defensive linemen. Brad Holmes drafted 2 interior linemen his first season. Second season, 2 edge rushers. Linebackers is a concern. Malcolm Rodriguez looks like an absolute stud out in camp, but they're so deep. Jared Davis, Alex Anzalone, I just don't see why they would bring another guy in free agency to camp. The corner position, I think, is taken care of for now. We'll see how Jeff Okudah develops, hopefully into a good rebound year for him. And then you look at the safety, and you're sitting Tracy Walker, and you got the kid out of Baltimore, and then you drafted Kirby Joseph. So, yeah, there's nobody I feel this team needs to sign, not even a backup quarterback, because if Jared Goff gets shot and killed, I'd want to lose every single game. There's no point in trying to win with a backup. Go out and get your franchise quarterback.
Yeah, if he goes down early, and this is the question here, if he goes down early season, does Brad Holmes make a move to get a quarterback, basically, or stay with David Blau or Tim Boyle? What would Brad Holmes do? I think they would probably try to get somebody. I think they probably
do. I think.
Yeah,
I think they try to make a move for somebody. If I was in the room and I was advising, I would say, hey, if there's a backup out there that is going to cost us maybe a 4th or 5th, let's try it. But if it's not working, it's just not working, and we need to start looking at the quarterback class this year. That would be my recommendation. I don't mind if they try to get one if it does happen. I would just caution them. There's no point in winning 6-7 games this year if Jared Goff gets hurt early and he's out for the year. You might as well just go out and get a top pick, in my opinion. I know tanking sucks, but I'm going to sit there and say, you know what? Dan Campbell's first year had an atrocious roster. Nobody would ever win with that roster. Year 2, his quarterback went down, and everybody in this town wanted him to lose games so they could draft a quarterback. So yes, you don't fire the coach just because he has an awful record. And I think we learned that lesson with Zach Taylor, by the way.
Yeah, if Jared Goff goes down early and they lose games, I'm not going to be too mad at Dan Campbell. It's not a whole lot he can do. He's just the coach. Given the circumstances that Tim Boyle and David Blau is your quarterback,
Man.
Automatic L. What wide receiver has the most touchdowns? To me, I think probably Amon-Ra St. Brown. Been in the system. Makes sense to me. What do you got, Adam?
And I don't think it's even close. It's gonna, unless he's injured, but I don't expect him to be. Jameson Williams probably going to miss 3-4 games to start the year, maybe even the first 5 going into the bye. Josh Reynolds, I don't think he's a red zone threat. With Amon-Ra St. Brown, you can put him in motion. You can put him in the backfield. Ben Johnson will find ways in the red zone to get creative, and I think he's going to be the number 1 target.
I'm surprised you go Trinity Benson. I know that's one of your favorite wide receivers for the Lions, having a breakout year on the practice squad.
Dude.
You have a real breakout year.
Dude. Trinity fucking Benson. Man. That was a home run. Brad. Everybody's allowed to make mistakes. I'd rather Brad Holmes fuck up on Trinity Benson than Aiden Hutchinson.
That's hashtag facts right there. Trinity Benson is like the one-night stand that you wake up and you realize that you were drunk the night before and you just said, "Oh, my life." That's exactly what that is right there.
It's like you look at her from the back and she looks nice, but then she turns around and you're like, "Oh, shit." And that's Trinity Benson.
Where's that cocaine at, man? I need some of that.
I think I have some still left. I mean, we were trying to get rid of it. God, we had some clients in here the other day, and they're like, "What the hell is that?" Like, it was a skit. We had to explain the whole thing. It was funny as hell, but
yeah, you threw it at me when I was over there, and then I caught it. And I said,
I did.
I was like, "Oh my God!" Do you think that Aiden Hutchinson can have double-digit sacks and win Defensive Rookie Player of the Year? I think he can. Why not? This is a pretty talented defensive line all around. I mean, you got Levi coming in the second year. I think he's going to improve. Ali McNeil, Romeo Akwara, Harris. You got everybody, and I think that he can come in, Pascal, and Aiden Hutchinson can get 10 sacks. And with all the players that was drafted, why not him become Defensive Rookie of the Year? I think he's probably the most talented defensive player.
He was the consensus number 1 on most teams' boards. And what I would say also is the last 2 defensive ends taken at number 2 overall have won Defensive Player of the Year, Chase Young and Nick Bosa. Of the 6 defensive ends taken since the year 2000, 5 of the 6 have won Defensive Rookie of the Year. So I think it's Aiden's award to lose. I think he wins it. I don't think he needs double-digit sacks to win it. I think he can get away with 8.5, 9, 9.5. But yeah, I think he can do double digits year 1, absolutely, and I think that would be very encouraging. I don't need him to. I think the floor I'd like to see is 8. I would accept 8 with long-term vision of it gets way better than that. But if even with T.J. Watt, and look, I understand T.J. Watt was picked 30th overall back in the day. He came into the league 7 sacks. Chase Young 8.5 sacks. You don't need 13, 14 year 1. I think that is incredibly unreasonable to ask, even of a guy that was selected number 2 overall.
I completely agree. I think I couldn't say it even better than that. It'd be extremely unreasonable for that to happen. Do you believe the Lions can at least finish second in the NFC North? It's going to be difficult. You got Green Bay and Minnesota. I think they're pretty good. The Lions, it's possible. I think it's possible, but I have them going 3rd right now. I think Chicago's the basement. What do you got?
Yeah, Chicago's the the child that you didn't want, and they turn out ugly and stupid, and you don't know what to do with them, but you have to deal with them. That's Chicago. I think there's a chance. I do. I have a gut feeling that Aaron Rodgers and Matt LaFleur implode this year. I love Matt LaFleur as a coach. I respect the hell out of him. Aaron Rodgers, 2-time back-to-back MVP right now. Currently one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I just don't know how they're supposed to function. A great defense. It's going to be tough for them not to be a wild card team, let alone a division contender this year. But I can see this team winning 6-7 games. If it falls apart with Sammy Watkins, Adam Lazard gets hurt, They have no tight end. Aaron Jones goes down. He was injured at the end of the year. What are you going to rely on A.J. Dillon to catch out of the backfield? I have a lot of concerns for this football team. They're going to be good. I still think they could lose a lot of games.
Let me know in the comment section right now. Are you a fan of Green Bay? If you are, put FGB for fan. And if you're like me and you're a hater, do FGB anyways for F Green Bay. Let me know in the comment section with FGBs. I'm curious to see how many fans of this team and how many haters of this team in the comment section. This is an interesting question, but Mark Orlando, is the numbers of DJ Chark's. I don't know, because he's been injured. That's the thing. Can he stay healthy? If he can, he could have some big numbers. What do you think, Adam?
I would say in a full season, completely healthy. 13 yards, 5 touchdowns, maybe. 5 is generous on the touchdowns.
Yeah, I can agree that a lot of FGBs in the comment section. I love seeing the FGBs. People love saying "screw you" to the Green Bay Packers. And if that happens, if they was to fall apart, I'm going to be I have to go on your show and I have to celebrate, because that would be a great day. I can't stand Green Bay.
Anytime.
I hate that team, bro. I hate them, man.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. They're annoying, and honestly, their logo sucks.
They do.
It's so lazy. Such a lazy logo.
The discount double check. Can't stand a discount. I can't stand that team.
Yeah, no. I mean, they, from Hall of Fame quarterback to Hall of Fame quarterback, they deserve to suck for 20 years, honestly.
They do. They for more like 50 years. For the rest of my entire life, they should be absolute cheeks and terrible, just absolute suck franchise. Sticking cheese up to 2 points of contact. Adam, who is the player you'd like looking forward to the most in preseason? By the way, it's a crime you have never had Detroit-style pizza.
I traveled overseas a lot. I am ashamed I've never had a Detroit-style pizza. I apologize, all right? I'll make it happen this weekend. I'll take a picture and I'll confirm it, all right? Secondly, I am looking most forward. Obviously, Jameson Williams probably the obvious pick, but Aiden Hutchinson. I want to see him play well. Hell, F the preseason. I'm ready for the regular season, man. In terms of preseason, though, I guess I shouldn't say the guys that are the obvious ones. If I was to pick a player I want to see stand out a little bit in preseason, I would say one of the running backs, or I want to see Quintez Cephas have a good preseason. Even though I think he's been a total bust, and I'm tired of his name being brought up, and I have no problem if they cut him at the end of the year, but whatever.
We literally need one more like to hit 100. Smash that like button. And yes, Tick, I love Caitlin, but Green Bay's been destroying our team for my whole entire life. Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers, that's all I've known. And I'm tired of getting destroyed every single year, twice a year, by this team. Got to have that Detroit pizza. Got to do it. Let's see here what's got questions in the comment section. A lot of FGBs. What is one player that you don't want to see on this team next year, or this year, this coming season? There's one player you don't like.
Good one. That's a tough one. I have no problem to this day seeing although I think he's very valuable, and you saw how good the offensive line was. So at right tackle, I would like to speed up the process of making him a left tackle, but that's just my personal preference when it comes to Penei Sewell. It's really nothing against Taylor Decker, and to move him would be, to be honest with you, it would hurt the team, and I have no interest in doing it this year. So, outside of Decker, given I just want to see Penei at the left side, I would say realistically I am fed up with Quintez Cephas. I don't want to see him anymore. If they could cut him before the season starts, I'd be okay with that. Same with Jamaal Williams.
Pimpleton had a really good little mini camp there, the wide receiver, the undrafted guy.
I saw.
Do you think potentially he could make the roster and Cephas is out? That's a big question. That's something I'm paying attention to.
Sure. He has to. I think that's an easy plug-in for special teams. at least get him to handle special teams. I think that's an instant success. And if somebody goes down at wide receiver, you can give him some snaps. But I'm looking at him as a special teams guy.
Frog Crop, listen to the both of you guys are awesome. Two smart minds together. Goff will be here 2 years and gone, promise. Goff will get what he needs, but next year we'll draft a future quarterback. So if the Lions decide to keep Jared Goff next year and they draft a quarterback, do you think that's the right move, or you just let Jared Goff go and just start the young quarterback?
If you feel he's raw and he's not ready, and you believe your team with the additional free agents and rookies from next year can contend for the division, which I expect them to do by year 3, well, then I think you keep Goff and you sit the kid for a year. And I have no issue with sitting kids. Typically, It's tough and difficult, and it depends where you take him to. I'm not seeing many kids sit their rookie years being taken number 1, 2, 3 overall. It just doesn't happen. But if you're taking him at 10, 12, and you traded up for him, yeah, I'd like to see him sat. I think it's reasonable. I think it's fair. I'm excited about Trey Lance this year. I'm excited to watch him just as a casual, diehard football fan for a love of the sport. I would love to see him be successful with Kyle Shanahan in San Francisco. I think that offers such a unique dynamic to the NFC West and the NFC in general. So, I'm okay with sitting a quarterback, given I think Goff over the next 2 years can be a guy that can win you 8, 9, 10 football games. I just believe it.
Yeah, I concur with you completely. I don't mind at all if they're to draft a quarterback and they let him sit year 1. We've seen it happen on many other teams. Patrick Mahomes with Alex Smith, he sat there for a year. Trey Lance, you're just talking about. Aaron Rodgers sat behind. It's okay to draft a guy and have him sit, let him learn. There's nothing wrong with that. If Jared Goff gives you the best chance to win, then play Jared Goff. That's it. There's nothing wrong with that. And we don't need to be like Matthew Stafford where you instantly start this guy right off rip and he gets beat up. If he needs to sit, let him sit. Be patient, because that's how you build the right way. We've seen it through many other franchises. Let it be done, and don't be too hard on it. If the Lions make the playoffs, Goff gets a win. This is interesting. Does he stay the long term? Something we haven't done since 90.
I don't care if it gets you to a title game. I'm being serious. Unless he is the reason why. Unless he is the big reason why. No. Do I believe they can get to a playoff game, dare I say win one, with a game-managing quarterback, an average one, and Jared Goff? Yeah, I think that's very possible. I've seen other NFL teams do it all my life. But that doesn't mean you commit to him long-term. If you want to extend him an additional year, I don't mind it. If you haven't found your franchise guy yet, or you weren't able to get him, I'm okay with that. But you're not. The only way Goff gets that 4-year, 5-year, multi-million-dollar extension, glamorous extension, is if he goes out this year, 4,400 yards, 34 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, deals in the playoffs, and he's proven he's never done that. He just hasn't. So I really am not afraid of this upcoming year or next year with Jared Goff, because I know what he is. Everybody knows what he is. Sean McVay told you what he is. And you can win with him. But he's not a franchise guy, and I think that's okay.
My favorite player is not Will Harris. Dixie Normus, I appreciate it. What do you think about Will Harris? I don't even know if he makes the team, in all honesty.
I'm not concerned. I'm happy with what's available.
Yeah, I'm with you right there. He doesn't offer anything on safety position, and at cornerback, is it worth it with the amount of money he's getting? I don't know. If he makes the team, okay.
No preference, no problem for me. Gone, stay, doesn't matter.
Mike Townsend says, do we have the capital to get a C.J. Stroud and Bryce Young? Well, it just depends what our season is. I think we do. But if Jared Goff goes down,
I would give up.
You're just there.
Yeah, I would give up 4 first-round picks. If Jared Goff goes down, like you said, you're going to be there. And if you're picking at 12, 13, 14, yeah, I think there is a team that is willing to deal. And you have to understand, too, it really depends who's picking there. And if it ends up being a team that needs a quarterback, damn, that trade is going to be difficult. Damn, it's not going to be easy to make that trade and pull it off. But I've seen teams trade up before in my lifetime for a quarterback and give up a lot to teams that did need a quarterback. It is not off the table. I'm comfortable giving away 4 future first-round picks if it meant getting the guy that this team believed in.
If you have a team, I'd do it too. Like, if you have all the pieces around you, all you need is the quarterback, we're ready to win now. And especially if you look at Green Bay, they're getting older. Aaron Rodgers is, that is. You could make that jump and become the team for a decade. That's something that we haven't seen in a while. Folks, I got to get off because first off, I got to punch out of work and I got to go on another stream. So it is time to say adios. Adam, what do you got to say to the folks when we close this bad boy out? He says, straight face, nothing. Well, I appreciate everybody getting on. Oh, he's back on. Nope, he's not. I appreciate everybody getting on. And with that said, folks, I will see you all later. Again, I will be on LNU. Check me out right after this.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just